1, 2, 3, 4.
25. Have you ever been bullied? I've been bullied up to 8th grade. High school was like a completely different side of the coin. I don't know what happened in high school. But when I first moved to Syosset, because I first went to a private school, so private schools are really different from public schools. So I moved to Syosset, and the first day of class, actually, I wore a dress to school because, like I said, I was from a private school, so I didn't know how it worked. I went to school in a dress, and like one of my friends now, like she and I are really good friends, but she was like, "Ew, why are you wearing a dress? Are you lame?" And I literally called her an asshole at the age of like 7. I got sent to the principal's office the first day of school. You can assume that the principal never looked favorably on me. But yeah, I think cause when I was younger, I wasn't, like, my mom likes to call me the ugly duckling. Because when I was younger, I was like chubbier and like, I was really not unhappy, but I wasn't super positive. I was just someone who was neutral. And like the people in my town, especially if any of you know what Syosset is, you know it's not a horrible town, but the people are horrible. Like it's money centric. The more money you have, the happier you'll be, the nicer you'll be treated. So I didn't know that, so I would just wear like normal clothing. Like I wouldn't spend money on that. Like I just eat lunch at home because I didn't care. But there was sometimes where bullying got so bad to the point where I went to the nurse's office to eat like a box of cereal because I didn't want to deal with people. But yes, I have been bullied. 26. What's your favorite food? Sushi? Pasta? Steak? I like food in general, so I don't really have a favorite because if I overeat something, I'm gonna get sick of it regardless. So like sushi, I can get sick of it. 27. Dream date. I'm gonna cut it at 30 before another outfit change because talking is tiring. 27. Dream date. I think for me, I don't know. Like a drive always appeals to me. Like a drive or like a scenic walk or a scenic drive would be great. Like it's kind of like the setting is intimate enough to just converse, but like it won't be awkward because if you feel awkward, you'll be like, oh look outside, look at that, or like look at that. So it won't be that bad. And like it's a good bonding experience. Like see how you guys hit it off one-on-one. So I really like the scenic drives or just like a drive date, but I've never done it before because I only recently got my car like a year ago. And yeah. 28. If you had to get rid of one member in BAP, BTS, and Top Dog, who would you choose? This question breaks my heart because all of them are very special. But in BAP, I would choose Daehyun. Not like to kick him out of like the industry in general, but I think Daehyun, his vocals are strong enough for him to be a soloist. So, and Youngjae can have more lines. Yay! But Daehyun is definitely very strong, and I think he has the potential to become a soloist. Only problem is that he fits so well in BAP, I don't want to kick any of them out, but if I had to choose, it would be Daehyun, because he'd stay successful. BTS, I would choose J-Hope. There's already 2 other rappers, and I prefer the 2 other rappers' styles, because Suga's voice is really complementing with his style of rap, and Rapmon. You can't not like Rapmon. So I would choose J-Hope because there's too many rappers. I love them all as a group, but if I had to choose, I'd choose J-Hope because it kind of spaces, and if worse comes to worse, Junggigo can have some of the rap lines. Okay, because he can do everything. And Top Dog, I choose Hojun. I don't know a lot about Hojun, and he's very quiet to me. And like, I love all of the members, but Hojun's probably the last one on my list of rankings. So I feel like if I had to choose, I'd probably kick him off. 29. This question pissed me off a lot. So if the Anon who asked this is watching this, I apologize, but you actually pissed me off. 29. Why not just be a trophy wife or a housewife? The entire question was like, you're pretty enough, you're smart enough, why not just sit back and relax? I hate people who do that. I mean, if that's what you prefer, if you want to be a housewife, if you want to be a trophy wife, go for it. But I will not willingly become one unless, like, I don't get it. Like, I understand, like, oh, majority of the time, the husband usually makes more money, but that doesn't mean the wife can't do anything. Like, if you want to sit back and relax, be my guest, but that's not my style. Like, I want to help. I want to do something. Like, some people would be like, oh, well, cooking a nice dinner for your husband to come back to is helping. Yes, but no. He takes on all the financial burdens, and that's not fun. So I think I'd want to help. Like, I don't want to become a housewife. Like, it's not my thing. It's not my dream. It's not something I want to experience. Unless it's like I'm pregnant or something, and I can't do anything at that point. I'm pretty much useless anyway. So, yeah, that's why. I have my own dreams. I want to pursue my own dreams. So I don't want to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show, as some people say it. So, I'm good. And then 30, choose a boyfriend, husband, brother, pet, best friend, enemy, and secret crush in BTS. What is that even? Is this one of those freaking click and drag games? I love you though, whoever asked this. Husband, I choose Jin. Boyfriend, I probably choose Namjoon. Brother, I choose as Jimin because he matches my little brother's personality. My pet would be V. Actually, no, my best friend would be V because he's loud and he's great. My enemy would be, like, I guess J-Hope. My secret crush in BTS. Nicole's laughing over there. My secret crush in BTS would probably be Suga or Yoongi because he's really attractive and I can't help it. But my pet, I guess that leaves Junggigo as my pet. He'd be like that pet you can't yell at. He could probably pee on the floor and I just clap. So that's my rankings. Questions 31 to 40 are coming up next. Okay, so we left off on question 31. If you were on a deserted island with only one member of BTS, who would it want it to be? Who would you want it to be and why? That's really hard because if we're on a deserted island, I want someone smart, like Namjoon, but like, he'd be really loud and I'd end up wanting like to bash my head with like a boulder. Taehyun would get me nowhere. I feel like it'd end up being like turning us both into cannibals if I was stuck with him. Jin would be like perpetually useless because he's a little baby. So I think, honestly, when it comes down to it, I think I'd rather be stuck with Namjoon. Because I feel like him and I would be able to get ourselves off the island, or at least try to make the best of it. So 32, how did you become a Jin stan? I actually can't explain how. I wasn't really into them pre-debut, like pre-BTS, but I've never even heard of them pre-BTS to be honest. But when No More Dream came out, in the beginning where Namjoon is introducing all of them, Jin stood out to me for some reason. And like throughout the whole MV, I was looking for him. And then like when he got his part to sing during the bridges, I was really amused because his voice is very different. So I was amused that he would be scouted into a boy group, especially one of such strong standards. So it was very amusing. And then like as interviews started coming out and as like comeback stages started happening, debut stages started happening, I started to like him a lot more than the rest of the members, so that's kind of how I became a Jin stan. I kind of just like liked him since he came out on the music video. 33, did you get hit on a lot in Korea, and have you had any bad encounters with perverts or odd people? So I'm just gonna loop odd people into perverts. Have I been hit on? I have. Not as frequently as I do in America. Not to like sound like an asshole or a douche, but especially when I'm in public, like Korean men tend to get really scared. Like I've talked to some of my guy friends and they admitted that like when they're encountering a foreigner, because that foreigner speaks English, they're a little intimidated because they don't know if she can speak Korean, if he can speak Korean, if they'll understand them, and they don't want to embarrass themselves. So I have been hit on, not a lot, but like there has been one or two, and it's very weird because I'm not really looking for a relationship, so I don't know really how to veer myself off that conversation. Have I had any encounters with perverts? I have, and it's horrifying. There was this one time where I was on the subway, and this guy sat down next to me, He looked like he was drunk, I don't know, and I assumed that he was like passed out. You know how like drunk people, they sometimes like fall asleep really easily? So it looked like he passed out next to me, but like then his hand was like on my thigh, like this is my thigh and his hand was like on it like this. And I was like, okay, this guy, like, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. I think you're passed out, so I'm not gonna like shift away or whatever. But like, I noticed that like, the hand would like move up and down like subtly, and I was just like, so I like crossed my legs to pull that thigh away from him, and like his hand like fell back onto my thigh, and I was like, the fuck is this shit? And like, I was like, oh, this is creeping me out, cause like, his hands started getting like slightly higher, or like, it started like, yeah, just moving more. Oh, this is fucking creepy. So I told Nicole to move over slightly, and but like there was people next to her, so I was just like, fuck this, I'll just get up. So I decided to get up and just stand for the rest of the ride. And literally, as soon as I got up, the guy woke up and went on his phone and was completely like awake and like comprehensive. And I was just like, are you serious? So that grossed me out. That has never, well, I've never been physically touched by like a pervert in the States, so I was like, this is fucking weird. Cause like usually it's just comments, so I was like, this is creepy. Screw this. 34. How would you compare international love for K-pop to Korean love for K-pop, especially college students? Studying, even though it's only been like a semester at Konkuk, to be honest, the K-pop love in college students is not strong. Usually they like Western music, like a lot of hip-hop, a lot of R&B, a lot of indie bands, and some actual alternative rock, such as Linkin Park. But you won't see them trying to get into music shows or they'll go to concerts, like, they'll go to EXO concerts, like whatnot, but they won't be like lining up for M Countdown or whatever, because it's not what they're interested in. Like, even though they're not super hardcore studying, they're not super hardcore into K-pop. They're just like, nah, whatever. It's probably because they've been raised and K-pop has always been there, so it's just kind of like everyday life. Like, I wouldn't go out of my way to go to a Taylor Swift concert. I wouldn't go anyway, but I would go to a Beyonce concert, that's for sure. But yeah, it's definitely not as strong as international love, but the generations are very young. Like, the generations that are into K-pop are all middle school and high school students, to be honest. You'll have like a few people from college going. You're not gonna see them a lot, to be honest. You'll see older generations, like people who are probably like, who have actual jobs, like legit jobs, with stable salaries. They'll still go because they're just whatever. And those are usually Japanese and Chinese fans, to be honest. Korea, probably because they've always had K-pop, it's not a priority, and it's not of interest to the older generations, especially college level students. 35. What girl group would you choose to be in and why? This is hard because it's not so much popularity of that group, it's more of their music style and like what role they probably put me in as. I would prefer to be a vocalist or a rapper rather than a dancer, because I'm tall and like tall people are naturally really awkward at dancing because our proportions, like I have really long arms and legs, so I'm just like can't move them, don't know how to move them besides waving my hand. So I think honestly a group that's not super into dancing, so it'd probably be like 4 Minute has really good dances, so screw that. They also have talented vocalists like Kayun, so screw that. Probably something like SNSD, or it can't be a super girly group like A-Pink, and it can't be a super hardcore group like 21 or Evil, because I can't fit in either of those. Like, my guy friends always tell me like you're the least cute girl I know because of the things that come out of my mouth sometimes. So it'd probably have to be in between, so something like SNSD, or like maybe like if NS Yoonji was making a group, something like that. 36. Do you like to read? If you do, what kind, and what are your favorites? I like to read a lot of fiction, and if it's gonna be non-fiction, I tend to like to read science and history. I don't know why history, I just really like history. Unless I'm being tested on it, that's a whole different story. What are my favorites? My favorite books I've ever read. There's one book that I continuously can't forget. It's something I read in elementary school. It's called Runts, like the runts of the litter. It's a really good book, and it's about a pack of wolves, of course. but it's really good. Other series I really recommend is Warriors. I'm starting to reread it now. I read it in like middle school, to be honest, like 6th or 7th grade, but like Genesee was talking about it and I was like, oh, I read that book, and like I was like, maybe I should reread it, because since I stopped reading it, I only read the first 3. The author has made like 14 new books, and I'm like, hi, how are you? It's only been like 5 years. So I'm starting to reread that. But yeah, I like really weird books. Like, I like interesting, odd books. Like, I one time read a book about cannibalism, and then another time I read a book about like just weird things. We'll just leave it at that. I really like books about cancer too. I'm really weird, I'm sorry. 37. Are there any girl groups or guy groups that you don't like no matter what, regardless of like including things like concept and songs? No. To be honest, no. I mean, there will be groups that I'm like not very into, like 21, I'm not very into them. I'm more into Evil. And as much as Evil's first MV did look a lot like 21's MV, like, I don't know, I like Evil's vocals better. Like, I like CL's rap style, don't get me wrong, she's a very talented rapper, but Evil's vocals are definitely better, in my opinion, than 21's. But I don't actually hate any group. I know a lot of my friends hate a lot of girl groups because they're jealous or envious, and I'm like, but why would you hate someone based on those boundaries? But yeah, there are no groups that I hate completely, because there's always gonna be 1 or 2 songs that I really like, or 1 or 2 concepts that I really like. It's really hard to be an official member of so many fandoms, so yeah. 38. Favorite Asian dramas, favorite American TV shows and movies. Favorite Asian dramas. Well, I like Brilliant Legacy, Innocent Man. I just answered someone's question about this and I forgot my answer already. But yeah, I have a lot of favorites. They don't tend to be like cutesy type of things like Boys Over Flowers or like Heartstrings or like, what is it, like pretty, like, I don't like those like girly things. I don't really like it too much because they're very Mary Sue and predictable. Like Airs, it was good. I liked the plot lines. I did like the character relationships, but then it started getting really Mary Sue and it was turning into a typical like high status man, poor girl drama, and I was like, I can't do this. So like things like Brilliant Legacy, it had a whole side story about her mentally disabled brother, and I really liked that. And then Innocent Man was literally, every episode made me like want to bash my head into a wall because of a new plot twist that I did not expect. So, and then the drama I'm watching right now is Doctor Strange, or Doctor Stranger, and Hotel King. Very interesting. Doctor Stranger is definitely one climbing up there on my interesting things. They like involve North Koreans, and it's very, very interesting. American TV shows and movies. Usually when I'm back in America, I'm really stressed with work and everything, so I tend to watch like stupid TV shows. Like one of my favorites would definitely have to be Family Guy. As immature as it is, it makes me laugh sometimes, so I can't help it. And I like House. I do like a lot of medical dramas, but I don't like things like Grey's Anatomy, like what? Like Scrubs. I can't go with that. But I really like things like that. And then for movies, if Amanda's watching this, Amanda will know I'm literally a horror movie junkie. Like, I'm constantly on Netflix or constantly going through like new releases and like upcoming movies to find horror movies, especially good ones. I love good horror movies. One of them would have to be Cabin in the Woods, because it was very plot twisty. It wasn't very scare worthy, but it was very plot twisty. It was very interesting. So I like a lot of horror movies. It's really hard to think of titles at the top of my head because this video will be 20 minutes longer because I'll just sit here pondering going, But yes. 39, completely different branch of questions. Is it dangerous to walk around at night in Korea for girls? How are women perceived? It's not dangerous per se, but it really depends on what time you're walking around at. The other day I was coming back from dropping by like Stardom, and Nicole left first because I wanted to study more, but it was 9 o'clock, 10. It wasn't really that late actually, but there was a lot of drunk men out on the streets, and I felt really uncomfortable because I had to walk near them. And then I also saw a fist fight break out right in front of me, and that was really scary as well. So it depends on what time you go out at and where you're in, because if you're on a lit street, like a busy street in like Seoul or like Shimcheon, you'll be fine. But it's the smaller streets and the alleyways you have to watch out for. I don't care what you say about how safe Seoul is. Like, they have a really low crime rate, but you have to realize one case, like one crime case will not bring up their percentage. So there's probably like 40 crime cases out there that didn't affect the percentage because you're looking at a countrywide scale, which is something a lot of people don't understand. America has more people. Of course the percentage can go higher. But like, if in America I got mugged, my case would not affect the freaking crime rate percentage by 1%. No, it's not gonna affect it at all. So yes, it really depends where you are, what time you're out, and your state of being. If you're tipsy, I suggest you crash at somewhere or you take a bus or subway because that's just dangerous. It's not really recommended, especially if you're alone. How are women perceived? It depends. If you're pretty, you're perceived as a queen. If you're not, you're perceived as just a female. In Korea especially. Women tend to perceive themselves as dolls because they put a lot of effort in their appearance. Like, I have nothing against that, but they put a lot of time into their appearance, like outfits and like makeup and whatnot. So they kind of see themselves as dolls that kind of have to look pretty all the time. For guys, I believe, like I asked one of my guy friends and he's just like, a girl is just a girl to him. Like, it's just another female in a world of females. So he's really impartial to them. So he doesn't, it's very rare you'll meet a Korean guy who thinks of a woman as an object. Like, they're still human beings, but they're more so human beings that you want to have a future with rather than a human being that like is like a whole different like hierarchy, like something like that. I don't know if that answer was confusing. Feel free to like ask FME or like leave a comment to like explain it better. It's really hard to explain. 40, what's Korean college life like compared to America? Which do you like better? Korean college life and American college life are similar and different in certain aspects. Like, friends will still go out, go drinking, go clubbing. That's shared by both. In Korea though, classes are a lot more serious. All classes have attendance rules, no matter how big or small it is. Grades are seen more seriously. Grading policy is slightly different. There's not big curve in classes. Only 35% of the class can get A's. Only 35%. That means it cannot be a higher percentage. It can only be 35. So that's how the curve goes. In America, it kind of depends on each class. It's 40% for classes that are taught in English, 35% for classes that are taught in Korean. Like in America, it's very different. Dorming is a lot better. Standards are a lot higher in Korea for living, at least, because the dorms are a lot cleaner than Stony Brook. I've been to dorms in Princeton, they're not this clean. I personally like both. If I could combine both of them, I would, but if I had to choose one, I think I'd choose American college life. But that's only because I commute. I like my car. If I stayed in Korea, I would not have my car, which makes me really upset. So I like my little SUV. I like it. I named him Daehyun. But yeah, I think that's one of the reasons. Oh, Yano just tweeted. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry, but I can't. My car is already fucked up. They changed their picture to Amadeus, and it looks really stupid because it's literally black and then just Amadeus in white font. But god damn it, Top Dog. That was a really big tangent, but I think, yeah, all in all, I would probably choose American college life because I like driving and like, but oh, now he effed up. He effed up apparently, and then he added a selfie. Wow, guys, look at this man. He's really pretty. He's actually an asshole though, because there was this is a huge tangent, but there was one time where I went to go give Genesee a present, and I was like, oh, Genesee oppa, and then like Yano next to Genesee was like, Genesee, like he kept making fun of me, and I was like, are you serious? He kept laughing at Genesee for getting a present. I was like, are you serious, Yano? Are you serious? Just because I can't punch you. But yeah, so I think I personally prefer American college life, but I prefer a city college type of life because the school's in Seoul, so everything's within fair reach. That would only apply if you went to like NYU or Baruch in New York, because everywhere else, like on Long Island or upstate, you're not gonna have it that convenient. 41. Did you meet any cute guys that you would have liked to date over there if not for the existence of absolute perfection named Kim Sok-jin? I like the second part of your question so much. But no, because I don't know, they're really cute and all, but I'm not really into cute guys. I'm like into like more, not super masculine men, but somewhere in between. Like, I don't know, like somewhere like Kim Woo-bin or like Genesee, like somewhere in between. Like they have their cute moments, but they're not like egg yolk filled. But I've met a few guys in my organic chemistry class that are all really attractive, I won't lie. But they're not someone I would date because they're all like really good friend material, not really dating material, because they're all really shallow after talking to them. So yeah. 42, how would you want your man to dress? This is a hard question because it depends on the type of guy. Like certain guys will look great in like sweats and a sweatshirt, but then certain guys won't and they'll look better in like a blazer. But I want my guy to just dress clean cut. Like don't look like a slob, don't look like you literally just rolled out of bed. Cause if I put in time for my appearance to meet you, you should do at least half of much. Just like, you don't have to come out in like skinny jeans and like a blazer. God forbid. You can, don't get me wrong. I love blazers. But like, you can just wear like a plain white v-neck and jeans and still look good as long as you're like well kept. 43, what kind of girlfriend are you? This is also a question that I like enjoy getting because it's really funny because people usually expect me to be like a girlfriend, like where I'm like really loving and stuff. No, I'm sorry. I'm actually quite the opposite. I'm not affectionate, but I'm not clingy. Like you won't see me texting you like every time it's like, oh, where are you? Like I miss you, I want to see you, like let's go on a date or something. I'll text you maybe once every hour, only with the reply to your message. But I'm not super clingy, I'm not super affectionate. I will be affectionate during like holidays and events, like 300 days or like a year, like an anniversary. I would do like something really special. Like I tend to like, for my biases, especially like gifts are very special and very unique and creative, which is what I would do for my boyfriend if I cared enough. But I'm not super clingy or affectionate. I'm not into that whole cute act. Like you won't see me going like bling bling. Like no, I won't do that. So yes, that's the kind of girlfriend I am. I'm caring but not clingy and affectionate. I'm also someone who likes having space. One of my exes, I told him I was taking a nap. I wake up to 43 missed calls. 18 missed calls and 43 missed text messages asking me where I was, who I was with, what I was doing, and you can just know that I broke up with him that same week. So yeah. 43, 10 facts about you. I was supposed to write these down. I forgot you. So you're gonna have to deal with 10 minutes of awkwardness. I did write them down somewhere. Somewhere of which I do not know where that is. Hold on. Just give me a moment. Just give me, okay, it's not in there. No. Okay, well guys, just give me a moment. I'm really discombobulated. Okay, here we go. One, I have a love for fashion. Like I really do like fashion, like colors. I really like colors. I like fashion and whatnot, but I won't wake up 2 hours earlier just to pick an outfit. I mean, I'll put time into my outfit. I won't put 2 hours into it, but I love fashion, especially since it's very fast changing. And it's really hard to predict. So the people who can predict it accurately, claps for you. 2, I played basketball and lacrosse since I was young to high school, to the end of high school. I've played basketball and lacrosse. That's something a lot of people don't expect of me because when they see me, they don't see an athletic person because I'm a slug. But yes, I played a lot of sports, so yeah. 3, extremely eclectic music taste. You can go through my phone and you'll find something from Beethoven, but you'll also find something from like 3 Days Grace, but then you'll find something from Top Dog, but then you'll also see something from CL. Like, so my taste is all over the place. Like, I even have some indie bands when, yeah. We'll just leave it at that. But I have very eclectic taste, which people don't expect, because people literally expect a K-pop girl. I'm like, no. 4, I'm a good cook and a baker. I've been cooking and baking since 5th grade, 6th grade, because I like helping out my mom. So So if I have a moment, like if I have time, I would be like, oh, you can go rest, and like I'll go make dinner or something. And like every Friday, Amanda and I usually go over her house and we bake something. If we don't bake something, we're literally sitting on the couch dying of boredom. So we're like baking like cakes or cupcakes or doing something, and then almost having the kitchen burned down because she refuses to listen to me. 5, I have an extremely awkward love for cars. Like, growing up, I really liked cars. Like, you can probably show me a logo and I'll be like, that's a Mercedes, or that's a Renault, like, so like, or that's like a Daewoo. Like, I'm very good with cars. I really do like cars. Like, I take care of my cars. Like, even with my mom's car, I'm the one taking care of it. I take it for oil changes, I take it for like washes, whatever, because I don't know, I just really like cars, and it's not something a lot of girls are into. I'm not into racing, but I'm into cars. Like, if you take me to a car show, I will be so happy, you don't understand. But yeah, I'm really into cars. My favorite car brand is Audi, because I loved it since I was younger. It's been a brand that I've like always loved seeing, and like I wanted to get it as my first car, but then my mom told me that if I got it, I wouldn't have anything to work myself up to, because I was paying for it myself either way, no matter what brand. So it's not like I was eating off my parents, so don't take it that way. But I was gonna pay for it, but my mom said if I got an Audi, what would I work up to? Like, you know how people like start off small, like they go from like a Dodge or like a Toyota, and then they move on to like maybe a Honda, and then they move on to Mercedes, and then they move on to an Audi or BMW, and then they go to like Bentley, depending how far you can go. So like people usually work up. So my mom was like, don't start in the middle, like don't start in the upper chains, because you're either gonna have to get another Audi or you're gonna have to go to Mercedes, because there's no way I'm getting a Bentley in med school. There's no way. Even though my mom likes to say that if I got to medical school, she'd give me any car, and I don't know who's calling me right now, but she said that if I get into any medical school, she'll give me any car of my dreams. And I playfully said Lamborghini and Bentley, and she said fine, and I was like, okay, you're lying to me. This is where my list ends, so this is really awkward. 6. My parents are divorcing. They've been divorcing, in the process of divorcing for like 3.5 years. It's really funny. No one really knows that about me because it's kind of personal, but to me it's like, it's okay if my parents divorce. Like, I know some people take it really hard, but I don't. Like, I don't think my parents are good together. My dad's a motherfucker, literally. He's a dick. I don't like him. I don't care. As far as I'm concerned, my dad is dead to me. So, my brother's not taking it that hard either, because we've been witnessing it, and we both kind of agreed that like a split is a split. They need that, like, whatever. My mom has both of us, doesn't matter. 7. I don't like cute things. I like rabbits over bunnies. I like ducks over ducklings. I like goose over goslings. I like dogs over puppies. It's usually the other way around, especially for women. They always see a puppy and they're just like, holy shit, it's so cute! And then I'm just like, I can't wait to see what that dog grows up into. Like, Nicole likes to show me bunny pictures, and I literally just like, yay! And she's like, what, it's not cute? I'm like, no! And then she yells at me. I think that was 7, okay. 8. I'm weird. I'm just really weird. Like, it's not even like weird in general. Like, I have really weird ways of thinking about things. I have a really weird train of thought. So, I'm just really weird. 9. I have a collection of stickers. I really am pulling things out of my ass at this point. But 9, I have a collection of stickers, and I showed it to Nicole, and Nicole's like, I don't even remember when you racked up so many. But look at these stickers, guys. I really like these stickers. See, these like 3D, like glow in the dark stickers. Yeah, I feel bad for my biases, because usually their like letters are like decked out in these stickers, because I think they're so cute. 10 is, I'm a pervert. Yeah, okay. So, that's me BSing 10 facts about myself. 45, shut the fuck up. 45. Have you experienced racism in Korea? I personally have not, because Koreans will tell me they thought I was Korean, or they just know I'm Asian clearly, so they don't really care. I don't really experience racism, but I've seen racism happen, especially towards white people and African Americans. When Nicole and I walk into a store, there's this one fucking restaurant, oh, Kyo-chan. they see me and they're just like holding the Korean menu, and then they see Nicole and then they put down the Korean menu and pick up the English menu. So that's kind of racist in a sense, because they're assuming that Caucasians and African Americans can't understand even like hello in Korean. So that's kind of racist, because why would you come here if you don't understand a lick of Korean? Like, I understand you come here and you only know like 안녕하세요 and like whatnot, but like people assume that you don't even know that sometimes. I've also seen a lot of racism toward African Americans because they're really uncommon in Korea. Like, I've been here for 4 months and I've seen three, yes. And I walk around a lot, and I do go to like dense areas like Hongdae. Like, you don't see that many. So when Koreans see them, they literally, it's like they just stare, and it's really obvious. Like, we walk into restaurants and we've been stared at, and I'm like, okay guys, we speak English on the streets and people will literally turn around to look at us. It's really funny. 46 friends that I miss. I had a lot of fake friends growing up. Like, you know how like when you're popular, you have a lot of friends, but they're not like, if I died, probably none of them would go to my funeral. So I only have a couple of close friends. Nicole's right here, so I can't miss her. I don't ever miss her anyway. Even during university in the States, I see her every fucking day, so I can't miss her. Okay, I barely miss her on weekends because then I have a breather. Just kidding! Just kidding! She's right there. So my camera decides to cut me off. Other friends I miss, it would be Amanda and Kim. I didn't have a lot of close friends growing up. I had a lot of fake friends, like, you know, like when you're popular, you're surrounded by the entire school, but if you died, no one would come to your funeral, those kind of friends. So, yeah, I didn't grow up having a lot of close friends. So Amanda, Kim, and Laura, pretty much. And Nicole, who's still right there. 47, friend, ex, Bangtan, crossover ships. I do have a friend for every member. Namjoon and Patty. I feel like their personalities are so dynamic, it'd be really funny watching them interact with each other. So I ship them. J-Hope and Nicole because she biases J-Hope. I ship myself with Jin because...
Great reason.
I ship myself with Jin because I like Jin. Okay, she wants a fucking reason. So I ship J-Hope and Nicole because I have no choice. That's one. Two is also because they're both very obnoxious and weird, so they're in their own world. Taehyung is too weird for her, that's why she doesn't get me. I get Jin because we both like cooking. He's very feminine, which is the only problem, but we can work around that. We can cut losses. Suga, I think I would choose Lin. I don't know if Lin's watching, if she even cares enough to watch, just kidding. But I ship her with Lin because they're both really cute. They're both really precious, and they're both very quiet, but they're very caring people, like they think a lot about each other. Jimin, I would ship with Minyoung. I hope you're watching this, asshole, just kidding. I would ship her with Jimin because they're both very talented dancers. They're both very passionate about what they do, and they're very caring, and they also both are very like spiritual people. So I would ship them together. They're very precious. I really hope they get together. Taehyung, I would ship with Sandra because you both are so weird that you guys just need to be together. Jungkook, I would ship with Ming because I don't know who else to ship him with, just kidding. Ming likes Jungkook and they're very cute, but they're also very sassy, so I would ship them two together, and that is all the members. So those are my ships. That was my last question. If you guys have any more questions that you want to ask me, or if you want another Ask Ruby video, if I get enough of them, I'll make another one. This one's gonna be split into two parts clearly because it's way too long. So yeah, if you guys have any more questions, tag them with hashtag AskRuby, or just feel free to come to my Ask FM and ask a question. I'll try and answer them in a timely manner. Usually that happens because you guys like to ask in waves. And I don't know if it's the same person at this point, but you guys like to ask in waves. And that hurts. Because I'm usually dying in class and I ask for questions and no one comes. But as soon as I leave class, all of you guys come. I see you guys. Holding that against you guys. But yeah, if you guys have any more questions, if you guys have any concerns, if you guys need someone to talk about, need someone to talk to. Don't talk about me, please. Come to my Ask FM, my Tumblr. All the links are gonna be at the bottom because I don't like annotating things because it looks messy. So feel free to drop by. Thank you for watching this. If you watched part 1, I thank you so much for watching it because it's so freaking long. But I'm making this longer right now. So thank you for watching. Remember, anything, just feel free to message me. I'm a very approachable person. Even when I'm dying of hunger, I'm very approachable because I'm dying of hunger right now. I'm still recording this stuff for you guys. So, yes, thank you for watching. Bye!